So the former police minister revealed in front of Parliament's ad hoc committee that businessman Vusimuzi Kat Matlala told him that suspended police minister had allegedly asked him to help fund his presidential campaign. Now, Bheki's statement came as part of an ongoing investigation into alleged political interference in police operations. The investigation began after KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi made accusations about corruption and undue political influence within the South African Police Service. The former police minister explained that his first meeting with Matlala took place last year at the Beverly Hills Hotel in Durban, a well-known luxury location. He told the committee that this was his first time ever seeing or hearing about Vusimuzi, and that he had no knowledge of who he was before that meeting. According to him, Vusimuzi was not known in political or community circles and had allegedly stayed under the radar despite facing various criminal charges. So the former police minister said that as someone who often heard about influential or controversial figures in areas like Umlazi, it was surprising that Matlala's name had never come up before. He said that this made the meeting unusual, but he still agreed to listen to what Matlala had to say. So during the meeting, the former police minister said that Matlala raised two major issues. The first, according to him, was about the suspended police minister allegedly seeking financial support for his presidential campaign. Mr. Bheki testified that Vusi told him that Mr. Senzo wanted help to raise funds for what he called his project of becoming president. So the former police minister said the second issue Matlala spoke about was a police raid on his house. Now, according to Bheki's statement, Matlala alleged that the special task force had raided his home early in the morning under false accusations of drug possession.
May I proceed, Chair? Thank you, General. But you know Kat Matlala?
Very well.
Okay. When did you first meet Kat Matlala?
I met Kat Matlala in December last year.
2024?
2024. That's
Before the directive?
That's the first time I met Kat Matlala. December 2024. I can't remember the date. But it was after the raid.
The raid on the 8th or the 6th? The 6th of December.
Because that's one thing that brought him to me.
So what is there a connection between the raid on 6th December where we know
there are issues that he raised to me about the raid.
So can you tell us? Well, first tell us how it is that you came to meet him. Did you know him before that?
No, I didn't know him before that, and I don't know how it happened because the people of his stature, I would know about them, especially from what the township? From MAMS, from Mamelodi. I have had a lot of community engagement in Mamelodi, and they will raise the issues about the people that give them trouble. One person that was very prominent was Keke. There's a guy called Keke in Mamelodi. I think he's doing 20 years now. It's been said. So we went there. We had Imbizo. 27 people spoke at Imbizo. Not a single one spoke of Keke. The 27th person spoke about Keke and was given a standing ovation. And this person made a statement that I'm ready to die after speaking with Keke. So you would know that there are people like Keke and things. But nobody ever raised an issue about Matlala. Nobody. Then Bongani Mpungos, who is a son of Sputla Mpungos, who is a son of Sputla Mpungos, who comes from Nongoma or Matubatuba, where he comes from, and a very notorious taxi person. Because of my involvement as the MEC for Transport and Police, when there are problems of taxi industry, then I will meet these people. So I knew Sputla through that, the father of Bongani. So Bongani then brings Matlala to me. So I think a week or 2 weeks I've read earlier to say there is this Tembisa person who has received this 360, is it 360 or 260 amount of contract from the South African police. They came and I met them in Beverly Hills in Durban. So I met there. I think I delayed two days because Bongani, who's known as Mabonga, did not tell me that he's bringing somebody else. So as I came there, because there was a photo of Kat, I said to him, "You look like Kat." He said, "I'm one." I said, "Nkosiam, what's the story with you and me and all that?" So he said, "No, he has asked Mabonga to come to me because there are 2 issues he wants to raise with me."
Where were you meeting?
Beverly Hills Hotel in Durban.
The Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yes, sir. Do you know Beverly Hills?
It's a fancy hotel.
Yeah, it's a very high, it's a high-end hotel. No doubt about it. It's a high-end hotel, Beverly Hills. But we met at the dining hall there, and then he raised 2 issues. He said Mabonga must bring him to me because he realizes that he's being abused or he's being used for the political games that he do not understand. Firstly, he said he has met Minister Mchunu, him and Brown Mahosi, 3 of them. And they spoke about him because he's got money through the tender, him to fund his project of becoming either a president or deputy president. He didn't know. Myself, I didn't know which project was it. So that's that. But
so just to be clear, so he's telling you that he met with Mogotsi and with Minister Mchunu,
yes.
And it was about the funding
of the project of becoming a president or a deputy president. Okay, this is Kat telling me why he wanted to meet me, but what puzzled him there, for him to want to meet me, he was told by the minister that we'll work together so long we don't come close to Cele and Zuma. I don't know why it mixes me with Zuma, but it looks like that's what he said, that don't come close to Cele and Zuma, so we'll work well with. So that's why he says he realized that there is a game, some political games, hence wanted to see me.
Did he give any details of when they met? He met with Mogotsi and with Minister Mchunu?
No, and I did not want details myself, but he didn't. The second one was about then the raid. The raid that happened, I didn't know about the raid. As I'm saying that maybe this latter part of some members of PKTT joining Gauteng, I didn't know until Kat says to me, he wants to speak to me because he was raided. He says the people that raided him woke him up as he was sleeping and bambulingo bathi vuka. Then I realized that was a special task force. Immediately, when they come to your bathroom and they wake you up, that could be only nobody but a special task force, those capabilities. So I realized that was this. So I asked, what has happened? No, they've raided him on matters, I think on matters of accusation of drugs and all that kind of thing. So me, where do I come? No, he says, he comes to me because he realizes that he has been abused. After that, he says he has been approached by Sibiya, General Sibiya, to write an affidavit against Khumalo, so that Khumalo can be arrested. So this cat tells me.
Which Khumalo? You
Khumalo,
know quite a few Khumalos.
No, this one, the
Not
head,
Dr. Khumalo.
The head of the CI.
Yeah.
The head of the CI, the leader of the PKTT. Yeah. He says, why? He said, no, I've come to you because of that. But what made me really come to you is that there is a case that is coming next week where I've taken Khumalo and his team to court for unlawful raid. So the reason is that I must take Khumalo to court so that he can lose the case and the Sibiya finds the way to discipline him. That is Kat telling me the story. He goes on to say he was told or stroke the affidavit of taking Khumalo was written by Sibiya to say they've stolen his Rolex and the jewelry for the wife. So they must write it so that it's not just the raid, but it's also the theft. So that's why he comes to me. He says he doesn't want to take police to court because he has just got the tender. So it doesn't want to harm his relationship with police. So Mamonga told him that I know Khumalo, so I can talk to Khumalo that they resolve the matter out of court. And indeed, I did speak to Khumalo about this thing. And I guess the lawyers did talk, and the matter didn't go to court. But also what was I suggested to him that maybe it would be good if he meets Khumalo and brings Khumalo per se. I don't know if they did meet with Khumalo. But in the case, I know that did not go to court. So that's how I know Kat, and I wish I could not have met him, but now I have met him.
When did you speak to Lieutenant General Khumalo? Or was it after the meeting?
It had to be. Now we're engaged on this presidential thing and me and all that, but talk other things. One thing that took me aback in the meeting of Zimbabwe is when I saw his protection guys. And I began to say that looks like there are faces I know here. What nearly made me fall down is when he told me that some of those guys, 23 of them, has recruited them from Special Task Force of the Army. I said to myself, what is this? He has taken 23 of the Special Task Force of the Army to guard him.
They're even recruiting some of our best, highly trained officers.
Let's see, I'm giving you the story that scared me. Why I'm scared of this story is because I've spoken to Nhlanhla earlier on and gave me the information that we have lost 56 members of the Special Task Force of Police to the taxi industry. 56. Now, I'm told that to train one member of the Special Task Force is 1.1 million to be all-rounder. One. We have lost 56 to the taxi industry. Maybe there where I threaten you of knowing. But I've got two issues here. That I can't have such a production to the private security. That's the first fear. The second fear is that looks like we're increasing the capabilities of the private security versus the state. Because I don't care how many you send. There will be a serious battle between 56 guys in the taxi industry with the 20 guys you send of the Special Task Force. So it's something that must be,
Yes, General?
It's something that must be corrected, Chair. Indeed, Masimula and me, we engaged the taxi guys in KZN to say, bring back our men. They say, we pay them better. We pay them better. Talk to them. I say, guys, can we go back home? They say, Minister, we love the page. National Commission, we love the page, but we don't eat the page. Maybe that's one thing that we'll have to see what we do with our people that have high capabilities so that we keep them in a proper way. Maybe that's one case that as legislators will deal with. So I go back, Commissioner and I will go back and we discuss. We say, Commissioner, we have a leeway here of dealing with this 56. We had 3 meetings with them. The last meeting was in HR where we were preparing to bring them back. Not all of them that came back, but a big chunk came back. The leeway was that special task guys, both army and police, they have a special allowance. The special allowance started same level, both of them, at 6,000 some years ago. Soldiers have moved to quite a high, I don't know whether to say the figure where they've moved. They've moved there as a special allowance. And the police have stayed there at the bottom. So we agreed with the National Commission that move them up where they are, which is more than 20,000 from 6,000. And then agreed, and they said, Minister, with pleasure, if you're taking care of us, we'll go back home. By the time I left, so they were being processed, quite several of them, they were going back to the police. Well, I heard Minister Mchunu said he has fixed the matters of the special forces. No, that process started when Cele was there. But it was going to start with special forces, goes with the NIU and the CATS. CATS are not too many, and then goes to the TROT, that few that are still there. Now, with that process, SC, comes information that 23 of the army now are in the payroll of a private guy called Matlala. Anyway, I began to see them at the funeral, Honorable Malema. I began to see them at the funeral where we were together. I said, I know these voices, but at that funeral, there were more guns and flowers.
Which funeral is that?
That was Mswazi. The guy called Mswazi Mnisi, who was a taxi guy. So there were more guns and flowers. And I said to them, what is everyone you were hitting?
It's Guns and Roses.
Maybe guns, but there were more guns. So because it was a big guy in the taxi industry, many of taxi guys, they came with helicopters in that funeral. They did not drive. Honorable Julius will remember, there were many helicopters. I asked some of them, why did you use helicopters? They say, no, because he was buried in his farm, you had to drive through the bush. So it was not any other thing, was to make sure that they go there. So you could see that this private security is taking the capabilities of the state. So somebody had to do something with it. And Matlala is part of him increasing his own private capability. I don't know where that is arrested now. I don't know where those guys are that have left the special task force of the army. Remember, while they train similar, but when chips are really down, those are the guys that you bring in, and they're in the private hand.
Yeah, so General, what you describe is